Good morning, Sam. It is Friday, August 13th. A couple of months ago, I posted a video called How to Solve Your Acne Without Accutane, and that video ended up being one of the most popular ones on our channel, and I received a lot of comments from people. I tried to reply to some of them, but I want to use this video to reply a little bit more in depth to some of those comments. I'm not a dermatologist, but these are some things that have worked for me. So, the first one is from Tahiana RN, who says, "Please, can you tell me what I should do for hyperpigmentation?" So, hyperpigmentation is when after the acne itself actually leaves your skin, there's still dark marks on your skin itself. This is so frustrating because it looks like you still have acne, but you don't. I had terrible hyperpigmentation. A couple things you shouldn't do. One is use something like a physical exfoliator. The problem with a physical exfoliator is that it's like literally ripping off the layers of skin. It can feel really satisfying when you use it, but it actually can be damaging to your skin. So what's recommended is to use something like a chemical exfoliator. I used one from Paula's Choice. I can put the link to it down in the comments. Other thing that I used a concealer that had a salicylic acid base in it. So I know I used one from e.l.f. Cosmetics, and it just sort of a thin layer across my skin that was non-comedogenic, so it wasn't clogging the pores, but it was also adding a little bit of medicine to the skin to sort of help to solve those problems. Okay, the next question comes from Emily, who asks, "I have been interested in going dairy and sugar-free, but I have no idea what my meals should/would look like." Okay, dairy and sugar-free is hard. It's really, really hard. Dairy is the easier one of these two to cut out. My recommendation is always just to cut the dairy out of your diet and not to try to find some substitute for it, because all of the dairy substitutes are, A, just terrible for you, and 2, you're just gonna miss the actual pizza that you're trying to eat when you're eating like this dairy-free thing that just doesn't taste like pizza. The sugar is even harder. So not only is there sugar in things that are sweet, there's also just like generally sugar in everything. The biggest thing I did was just cut out all processed food. So anything that came in a package was out of my life. And I focused on fruits, vegetables, legumes, and grains. Legumes are things like beans and lentils. But if you eat meat, something like chicken and vegetables. You could even do black beans and rice. That was a big one for me. Trader Joe's has a lot of like frozen dinners that are either like vegan or dairy free, and so I would buy those and then add like some extra rice or some extra veggies just to kind of beef it up. Primarily, if you're cutting out that added sugar, if you're cutting out all the cake and cookies and ice cream, and then you're cutting out everything that actually comes in a package, the stuff that you're eating naturally, if you're eating, you know, carrots and peas and chicken breasts and turkey, like that sort of stuff is fine. The final question is from Megan, who asks, "Do you still work out intensely every day to keep your acne away, or would you say that the diet is enough?" For me, I do a couple of things every day. One, I use a product line from Curology, and they put together a little box for you. It has a cleanser and it has a moisturizer. And then they put together a formula based on your skin. So you send in pictures, you answer some questions, and a dermatologist actually creates this formula, and then they update you. I've been using this for about a year, and I got a text last month that said, "Hey, we'd love to hear from you. How is your skin doing?" I sent in some pictures. They said, "Okay, it looks good, but we'd like to try these other things." And then they sort of changed the formula in this to sort of help fight whatever I was dealing with. I also use some sort of spot treatment. This one's from Neutrogena, but it's just, they're all like benzoyl peroxide 10%. And then in terms of diet and exercise, I probably exercise 4 days a week intensely, and then I just try to make sure my diet is healthy. So mainly I'm just avoiding things that I know are bad for me. Like, not only would it cause acne, it also just like makes me feel gross, like genuinely. But I would definitely say diet is the thing to focus on. I mean, it makes sense, right? You're fueling up your body, and if you're putting shitty fuel in, you're gonna get shitty things coming out. I hope that can be helpful to some of you guys out there. If you have any more questions, please leave them in the comments below. I would be happy to make another video like this. It's a struggle, I know. You can get through it. I believe in you. Love you all. Sam, I'll see you tomorrow.